What's up, guys? This is The Quad with Chris Young. As always, I am Chris. We got Haley the Bear.
What is happening?
I'm just laughing at producer Josh.
Good morning. Hello.
Chugging some core water over here. And on Zoom, Ryan from Miami.
Moving to Nashville this week. The big week is here, ladies and gentlemen.
I love that the minute that we go to him, his internet just sucks.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, you did.
Is that my internet?
Thank God you'll be here soon.
You sure it's not your internet?
I'm
you
glad
sure it's not
that
your
you'll
internet?
be here soon.
Yeah, are you
You know what, Ryan? It's not our internet that causes the cops to go by your house every 5 seconds while you're there.
Also, you're not at home, are you?
Yeah, where are you?
Oh, I'm at home. I'm sitting on the couch. I'm taking
So you're in a
comfortable
different
approach.
area than when you normally are. So maybe it is where you're at in your house. Because when we never had a problem was when you were in your computer or where the hell you were at.
Wow, I feel attacked right now.
Hey, where's Bentley? I don't believe you're at home unless I see the cat.
Bentley, come here. We will find him.
I've never seen this particular view of your home before. Anyway,
you don't like the gold-plated mirror behind me?
That definitely looks like it belongs to you for sure.
That doesn't look like it belongs to you at all. We're going to assume Ryan has had an interesting evening. So moving forward, thank you guys again for being with us. Speaking of Ryan, I just want to talk about how he got absolutely bodied in that poll. Is that the most lopsided poll we've ever had?
It's pretty dang close. Only something just barely over 100 people agreed with you, Ryan.
I'm pretty sure
that's 100 people.
That's 1%.
100 people that
That's 1% of our followers on Instagram.
I'm also pretty sure the last lopsided poll was probably Ryan's, right?
I like to consider myself. I like to consider myself among the top 1%. So I take that in pride. You know,
top 1%. Okay, let's go to movies. Let's go to movies. All right, so I'm going to read this description of this movie, which is really funny because if you just type in "dog," that is not the first thing that comes up. By the way, this movie PG-13. Very surprised about that rating. I mean, obviously there's some jokes in there that are a little aggressive, but 76% on Rotten Tomatoes, 86% of Google users like this movie. With a dog named Lulu by his side, Army Ranger Briggs races down the Pacific coast to make it to a soldier's funeral on time. Along the way, Briggs and Lulu drive each other completely crazy, break a handful of laws, narrowly evade death, and learn to let down their guards to have a fighting chance of finding happiness. Channing Tatum, who also directed, and
I didn't know that.
Yeah, directed and starred and produced. This was, I guess, like a big passion project for him. And I think, I was reading earlier, the production cost of this film, I think, was $15 million.
It's pretty.
I mean, that's a shoestring budget for a major release like that.
Mm-hmm. You have to figure he probably didn't take that much money on the front end too, since he's producing and directing.
Well, if anyone actually saw the movie, you would also see that you're mainly working with one person and a dog.
So this is what?
I mean, we can figure that out from the trailer. But yeah, $15 million is a shoestring budget for a big box office release like this. Obviously, you see a lot of press outreach that you got from Channing Tatum, mainly because not only is he starring, but he's also directing and producing. And this is something he wants to see work. But the first week at the box office, $18.1 million.
Made its money back. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, probably not. They probably spent,
another 10
on promo, but it's still a great return, a great first week, and not even the number one movie at the box office this week. The number one movie at the box office was Uncharted, which I, as a video game nerd, was very, very excited to see it come out. I've not gone to see it, but that may be what I recommend for next week. And the biggest thing with that is these two movies both did exceptionally well. Specifically in the case of Dog, which sounds really weird. It sounds like I'm ordering, hey, can I have egg?
Can I have dog?
Yeah, I would like dog. It seems like this was a really, really great box office week. And I don't know if that's because today's President's Day. So there's, obviously an extra day built into what they perceive as the box office, because a lot of people will go today if they have the day off.
There was a lot of schools that were out Friday also.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's more locally, though.
That might just be Tennessee.
Yeah, that would just be Tennessee.
We crushed it on the box office this week.
Yeah, it did really, really well. They were talking about the fact that both of those movies, for what their operating cost was, did exceptionally well as far as sales. And especially in the case of Dog being an MGM movie, they've been crushing it recently. For a studio that you don't hear a lot about outside of James Bond, the last several things they've done have done really well, including like House of Gucci. Sorry, as I about just coughed in the middle of that. House of Gucci, Licorice Pizza, which obviously Licorice Pizza is not going to do crazy numbers, but it's very specific to not being a retread. It's a brand new thing. Right. It's going for the awards.
Yeah,
right?
the film nerds will appreciate that one.
Yeah, but to see two movies do that well, and I've seen both sides of Uncharted, by the way. I know my ADD's kicking in hard. I'm jumping back and forth. And I'm going to shut up in a second and ask you guys y'all's opinion on all of this. But I've heard both from one side where people talk about not liking Uncharted because they just perceive Tom Holland as Spider-Man now, and that's all they see when they watch him in a film. And they thought this was just kind of a basic, hey, we took the script of a video game and put it on screen, and it didn't really do anything for me. And I've also heard from other people that they loved it, that it was really entertaining and it was fun. And, it's hard for video game properties to translate into movies because you don't have the controller in your hand, and you have to rely on the audience enjoying it, even if they already know kind of where the story's going. So it's good to see that doing well. It's good to see Dog doing well. But in the case of Dog,
I was about to say, are we talking about Dog or Uncharted?
I mean, we're talking about both of them because it was just a great week at the movies.
What up, dog?
This is normally one of those things that doesn't happen anymore, where you have two movies doing really, really well. Specifically in the case of Dog, drawing in the older female demo, which I think is due in part to Channing Tatum starring. But
you don't say.
It seriously was like a huge demo for Death on the Nile that didn't happen. Like that was actually one of the, if you look at the breakdown of demographic, one of the demographics that really didn't show up to watch that movie was that demo, and they expected it. And in the case of this movie, it's come out strong.
Well, we can also, as much as I love Channing Tatum, and I think you're still single, so reach out.
There it is.
There's also a movie
That was
starring
a
a dog.
slight slide in the DMs there, I mean, you might as well just slide right in the DMs.
It's also involving a dog, and who runs to dogs quicker than anybody else? That demographic. But anyways, being the only person that saw this movie, just to not call everybody out, but call everybody out. I am very happy when I bought the ticket to see this movie because I saw I was the only one in the theater, predicting I would bawl my eyes out. Turns out
Were you the only person there?
Two people sat right in front of me, and I apologized to those two people while I was a blubbering idiot behind you. I pre-apologize because with it being a movie the way that it is, it focuses on a situation that not a lot of people realize. I wouldn't call this a spoiler because if you think about it, it's a movie about a military dog and someone who was in the military who wants to get back, but he has to accomplish this mission technically before he can go back. And what people don't realize is that PTSD is also in dogs when they work in the military. So it kind of focuses on everything in a situation that not a lot of people realize happened. It does not, because I was curious about this and I looked into it about what they do with dogs when their handlers pass away, what they do with the dogs if they feel like they can't be handled by anybody else. But after looking into it, doesn't happen. But in this movie, that's basically the concept is they want to put the dog down. I won't give away the ending or what happens to the dog, but the whole movie is they want to put the dog down because it is a wild dog, like in the trailer. He's like, you're a demon dog. And that's what they do. That's what they used to do more often with dogs that they couldn't handle after the handlers had passed. So it is a very, very touching idea of the movie. And I cried. I'm sorry.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Time for some spoilers.
Oh man. All right.
Partially, I just wanted to hit the button. Were they, without giving it away, was it happy tears or sad tears? Because I need to prepare myself when I see this movie.
Both.
Both?
Yeah.
That literally does nothing for me.
It gets emotional, and again, because not only does the dog struggle with PTSD, he is also a veteran who is struggling. So,
all right, this is not hard to figure out, and this is not a spoiler. If you look up the movie, they already addressed the fact that obviously the handler of the dog has passed away, which is a friend of his, right?
Yeah, they were in combat together.
Right, and he has major PTSD, which is why they don't want to allow him back in. But his commanding officer is basically like, if you take this dog and if you get him to the Greek, then we will allow you to serve again.
And his PTSD comes from a brain injury. So that's what he's battling. And it's the whole road trip from the dog's funeral, like the dog is going to the funeral of his handler from where he's coming from.
So I'm going to cry like 8 times during this movie.
Yeah,
well, maybe I got a little teary-eyed at one point, and then I cried, and then I blubbered. So it's like a process.
All right, let me ask you a question. Top 5 dog movie ever?
But it's a different kind of dog movie. You know what I mean? I don't know where you'd put this.
I'm asking you to rank this. Is it top 5, top 10?
I'm going to add Lulu to my top 5 dogs of all time.
Wow.
Who got booted?
All right.
Bye, Lassie.
Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo's out.
See you later, Scoob.
I'm going to
By
add
the way, I
Lulu.
feel like
And, and also
I
from
feel
It's really good.
Okay,
Hold on.
time out. We're all stepping on each other. Go ahead, Ryan. What are you trying to say?
I kind of feel like Will Smith has a little slight here, right? I mean, how is this any different from I Am Legend?
Military.
Oh,
What?
wait. Time out. This is dealing with real life issues, not.
This also
not
is.
I'm
zombies.
just saying.
This is a movie about a
position it.
dog called Dog. Will Smith had a
I-
dog in the movie. This is completely
And-
different.
She's not wrong.
And she's not wrong, but also like think about like range of emotions, army, right? I mean, Will Smith is basically like the
Stop
Lone
it.
Ranger
I'm stopping
here
you right now.
with a
You
dog.
Yeah,
Stop it.
yeah, that's
There's
a
Stop
sad
it.
stretch.
parts associated
I am
with
stopping
it.
you. Stop talking.
That's
I'm
a stretch.
Stop talking.
Also, that the moment in I Am Legend when the dog just died. Yeah, we're not even gonna go there.
I bawled. I cried.
We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there.
Did you cry in John Wick in the beginning of John Wick 1? I did.
You cried?
Yeah. It's like, why would you do that?
Oh, it was just, see, that one elicited anger from me. I think that's where they nailed the first John Wick movie. Is
What about the third one with Halle Berry's
phone
dogs?
call? The phone call. Well, that was awesome. The phone call at the very beginning. One of my favorite scenes is where the guy's standing there and he goes, "You hit my son," and I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember the exact movie quote right off the top of my head. And he goes, "Yeah, sir. Well, he stole John Wick's car and he killed his dog." And he just goes, "Oh." and hangs up.
And
He's like, oh no.
before we get completely off topic, I just want to give a shout out to any of the animal handlers on this movie, because not only did you have a trained military dog, but you had a trained acting dog too, because that dog was phenomenal in the movie. Probably wasn't one dog, just secret behind. There's like 5 replicas of the same dog. But anyways, it was fantastic. I cried. I love everything about this movie, and I really encourage everyone to go see it. It's not like this super dramatic movie that you may expect. It's a guy and a dog on a road trip. So go watch this. Prepare to cry if you're as emotional as I was.
I mean, according to something I read, there's a part where he gets tied up by hippies. So there's a lot going on in this movie. The PG-13 rating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's 2 different kinds of hippies that they're talking about, and this is probably where the PG-13 comes into play.
Yep.
So.
Yep. So
Also,
this
he's
is
shirtless,
definitely.
ladies.
Oh well, there you go. That's. I can't imagine why the female demographic showed up at this movie.
A shirtless Channing Tatum and a dog.
Figure it out.
What?
So weird.
I want to address something, and this is just to get my nerd out of the way. The Multiverse of Madness with Doctor Strange is going to be so awesome.
March 4th. Let's go.
Yes, it is.
It is going to be so awesome. That is 1,000% going to be our movie that week. So just go ahead and get prepared now. And if you have not watched like the trailer breakdowns, this is more so something that happened last week, but we didn't get to it. Holy crap. The Illuminati is going to happen. If you're wondering, there's like a voice off camera. Everyone is like, that's Patrick Stewart.
Not the Illuminati you're thinking of.
No.
I'm going to stop you right there and correct this really quick.
Well, you're not correcting it. It is called the Illuminati.
Well,
in the
you know
comic
what I
books,
mean.
but
Like,
it's
I'm
not.
correcting their thoughts.
Yeah. This is not. She is totally correct. Anyone listening to this or watching this.
This is not Beyonce.
No. Beyonce. What?
Wasn't she part of the Illuminati at one point?
Oh my God. Anyway, now we're way off the rails. My point being, in the comic book universe, there is a group that is called the Illuminati, and they think that's what's getting ready to be revealed with, obviously, when Doctor Strange is in handcuffs in the trailer, and he's walking forward, and there's like a bunch of Ultron robots, that the rumor is that Tom Cruise will be the superior Iron Man from a different universe. Yep. And that Professor X will be in the universe. Like, there's so much nerdy stuff I'm so pumped about.
Yeah, when you start to get into multiverse, which is like, this is nerd stuff right now. But the fact that Chris Evans was Johnny Blaze and also Captain America within the same Marvel universe, but in completely different franchises during completely different decades.
And they're talking about Reed Richards being involved.
They can overlap these, and we can see Chris Evans as the Human Torch in a movie again. I mean, it's just like the options are endless at this point.
Haley's face.
We could see every iteration of the Incredible Hulk. We could see Eric Bana. We could see they can tie everything up together.
I'm very, very excited. And if you wonder, there was a casting thing, which is why everybody keeps bringing up Tom Cruise. If you've heard these rumors, in the superior Iron Man universe in the comics, and I know I'm about to lose everybody, but like the 1% Ryan's talking about that know what I'm talking about.
It's me. I'm here for it.
Tom Cruise actually asked that he be able to wear a costume that would show his face if he was going to be Iron Man originally when they were trying to cast for the first Iron Man film. And what do you know? The superior Iron Man suit shows Tony's face. Mm-hmm. We might get Tom Cruise in a Marvel film. It's going to be awesome. I'm very excited about it. And for next week, Uncharted.
Are we actually going to go see this movie? And I'm
Yes.
not going to be the lone star in this?
Everyone has to go see the movie this week, especially you, Rye.
We'll do it together. When
are you in town?
This week.
That seems open-ended.
Okay, text us when we get done. Let's go to sports.
Sports.
All right. We want to talk about NBA first?
Ryan, did you want to talk about this?
Go ahead, Rye.
We spent a long time on this podcast trashing the Pro Bowl, and the NBA All-Star game in the weekend was the antithesis of that. It was such a fun, weekend in Cleveland, honoring the 75 greatest players, an unbelievable all-star showing from Steph Curry, LeBron James hitting the game winner, both of those two from Akron in Cleveland with some heroics.
Akron?
I don't know if you could ask for anything better.
I don't know if that was the internet that made him do it as Akron.
Akron? Yeah. You mean Akron?
Akron.
There it is.
Akron.
Acorn.
I'm going to let you guys go ahead and say what you thought, because me personally, I've never been more disappointed by any All-Star showing ever. Not because of the actual All-Star game, because of everything else around it.
Like the dunk
Dude,
contest?
literally, the dunk contest is the worst dunk contest I've ever seen. These are some of the messages that were on the internet. The dunk contest could have been an email. Obi Toppin winning the dunk contest with a fundamentally sound layup would be the perfect ending to this sad, sad scene. The evolution of the dunk contest over the years, it shows like a young Shaq with an excited face to the old Shaq looking disappointed. I mean, dude, it was awful.
Have we run out of
they
dunks?
They shot like 30. Look, I'm not against going, hey, there's nothing we can do anymore to top the dunks that we've seen. There were, at one point, it was like a 30% in a dunk contest. A dunk contest.
No defense.
What the hell? Dude, it was awful. And I'm sorry. I get it, Ryan. I know what you're saying. It was really exciting for anyone that was actually awake or cared enough to watch the All-Star game, which was probably not very many people.
It was awesome.
I'm glad
what
that
are you
Steph
talking
Curry
about?
stood in the corner with no defense on him and hit a bunch of open threes. Like, cool. Steph Curry's the second player ever to score 50 points in an All-Star game. I'm glad that LeBron James hit the quote-unquote game-winning shot, which wasn't even a game-winning shot. It was the point total they were trying to get to. So he was the last person to score, and then he was like, yeah, I'm going to make my big announcement that the last season I play is going to be on the same team with Bronny.
It was great.
Dude,
there was
who
so much
gives-
news from the weekend.
All
No,
right,
no,
who
you are
gives
pooping
a
on this
shit?
parade.
Yeah,
You are pooping
I
on
swore.
this.
I swore. You can leave it in. Who gives a shit?
I will tell you who cares. I will tell you
Ryan.
who cares. The NBA fan. No. The NBA fan who wanted to see stars on display in the All-Star game got what they came for. They got heroics. They got
Heroics?
record-breaking performances. They
heroically dunked at
75
a 30% rate. It was stunning. Everyone is
They got-
heroized.
The only
They
thing
got
I watched in
75
the
of the
NBA
greatest
All-
players in the same building.
No. The Ryan, the All-Star experience featuring, by the way, who did not get talked about on TV, Jimmy Allen, just laying it out there and dropping dimes because they wanted to talk about Myles Garrett jumping up and stopping a shot. I was like, okay, Myles Garrett had like 2 cool plays, but I would argue that our friends Jimmy Allen and Kane Brown were much more impressive.
The only thing I watched in the NBA All-Star Weekend was the 3 a.m. repeat performance when I woke up and couldn't fall back
celebrity game.
asleep. Yeah, that's all I watched. And I only watched like a couple quarters, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Okay, good night.
I just want to be famous enough to play in that game. That's it. That's it. I just want it. That's all I want in life.
But again, look, growing up, what did you talk about during All-Star Week? It wasn't the All-Star game. No one cares. No one cares. It was the dunk contest. And this
And
is
now
the
it sucks.
worst dunk contest they have ever had. Ever.
I can fix it. Are you ready?
Oh, for a minute I was
All
like,
right,
are you
wait.
going to dunk?
And it's not
Before we go
HGH.
any further, I want it's not HGH. Just tranquilizer dark. Just like some testosterone right before. Dude, I know what you're saying. Like, are there any more dunks that can be completed? You think about Zach LaVine, like that dunk contest, man. Come on, that was great. That was a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. It was awful. Did you guys watch it?
Yeah, it was real bad.
Ryan, did you watch it?
I did, but I enjoyed more of the All-Star experience than I did just the dunk contest.
I don't think he watched it.
I don't think you watched the
You
dunk
loved
contest.
I did.
Maxie getting 0 points in the skills challenge. That's what you liked watching that.
It was terrible. I understand that. First of all, the dunk contest has become a sham. What was the last great dunk contest? Maybe Dwight Howard?
No,
With a
no,
cape?
no,
Maybe?
no.
Levine versus Gordon.
Yeah. Dude, those go back and
He's
watch
got
that.
That wouldn't even fall in the top 5 dunk contests.
That's
Oh,
ridiculous.
you were out of your mind.
You didn't even watch it because then that's just clearly erroneous.
It was no 16 was great, but it's not. I mean, it's not Jordan from the free throw line. It's not.
It was better.
You know,
It was better
Blake
than those
Griffin
dunks.
jumping over a Kia.
It was
I
better
mean, it's
than
not.
that's-
It's not better than Blake Griffin jumping over a Kia.
No, that was great.
You're
Good product placement.
You're out of your mind.
You're out of your mind. I can fix it. Are you ready?
Yes. Please help.
Trampolines. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, come on. You want him to go
Performance
like
enhancing
Harlem
cheerleaders.
Globetrotters?
That's what the
Performance.
cheerleaders do on half times.
Don't you love watching the mascots fly through the air and do it? Now imagine
Wait a
someone
minute,
that's
wait a
actually
minute.
athletic.
Oh, wait. Mascot dunk contest.
Mascot dunk contest.
Yes,
I'm in on
I
that.
could get by that.
With
Wait a minute.
trampolines.
Wait a minute. You basically want slam ball as the dunk contest.
I would
is what
love
you want.
slam ball to
It'd
be
be-
a real sport that I could play on a daily basis. Yes, that's what I'm asking.
I've seen Ryan play you in basketball. The very first time Ryan hit a trampoline, he would like tear an ACL.
100%. Or fly into the backboard and kill himself.
We can do this. I mean, we can do this on video.
If there
right.
is someone listening that owns a slam ball court, we will travel to you and film it
And
for
play slam ball.
film it
I
for
will
the
not
podcast.
play slam ball. I've already have 4 torn ACLs. I
was
don't
gonna
need
say,
another one,
Haley-
so I will be the judge.
Haley's knees have basically turned into the powder that LeBron James throws at the beginning of every game by the
100%.
scoring table. So
Yes, 4 ACL tells later. I will stay away.
Mascot dunk contest.
I
I like this. I like this a lot.
I like that. I like it. You got me there because it's like jumping off point. I think.
Yeah,
this
but
is a
who's
good
the
idea.
Lakers mascot? Like, who's the Lakers mascot?
Don't need.
I mean,
him.
Bernie from the Heat would be great. You know, Bernie from the Heat's going to win. the
Speaking of
contest.
the Lakers, let's just go ahead and pivot to that. They're awful. Wow.
Breaking
Breaking
news.
news.
They had a great game against the Utah Jazz to end the right before the break. LeBron James dropped 38 points. It was great.
Right before Anthony Davis broke his ankle.
Yeah, look, it is a
right before
cursed,
the break.
It's a cursed season. I actually feel really great about my preseason pick, Golden State Miami Heat. I really actually do. I feel like this is going to happen.
I would normally jump in here with the Suns look great, but what do we think about Chris Paul being out 6 to 8 weeks with that avulsion fracture?
So that's out the rest of the regular season.
Yeah, he's done for the rest of the regular season.
You realize the Suns have lost twice this year? This year, they've lost twice.
In 22. Yeah.
It's February.
They've lost
That
twice.
is-
It's almost
that is
March,
the most
technically.
manipulative stat of all time.
we're gonna have another this is gonna be a really good year for the Suns. Like, you're sleeping on the Suns if you don't think that they can challenge Golden State and win in a 7-game series, because they can't. They're
think,
really good.
I think that they're really great, Ryan. I also think they've been on an not unprecedented, but very lucky stretch of health and playing teams that have players in protocols, et cetera, et cetera. And all it takes is, as we saw from the Houston Rockets, Chris Paul getting hurt at the wrong time, and that team does not work the same way.
Well, and again, do you guys know what an avulsion fracture actually entails?
It sounds painful.
Well, the issue is not just with a hairline fracture or a break. It's that it involves the tendon, and it causes your finger in most cases to drop down. And speaking from experience of having tendon and ligament damage in a hand, it is basically they give you a recovery time of between 4 and 12 weeks. So 6 to 8 is very generous. And Chris Paul is not young. He's not. He's getting up there in age, man. I mean, this is one of those things where, like, your recovery time starts to lag towards the back end. So how long are they without him? What kind of difference does that make with his, on the court effort defensively when he comes back?
And does it take just one swipe at his hand to
that's what
send
I'm saying.
him back?
Is he playing tentative when he comes back? Does he come back too soon? Somebody takes a swipe, he falls wrong, he re-injures it.
Whatever.
Yeah. It's interesting.
That's why Golden State, Miami. Let's go.
Now, let me ask you something, because I'm curious to get your thoughts on this, Josh. With the paradigm shift that happened in the Eastern Conference now between Brooklyn and Philly, does that at all intrigue you in terms of either of those two teams becoming a challenge to the Miami Heat or the Chicago Bulls in the East?
It does not, and history is on my side. In the last 22 years, only one time did a mid-season trade or acquisition mean that team went to the finals and won. It was
All right,
Rasheed Wallace.
I would like to step outside the bounds of Ryan and Josh throwing stats at each other, like the numbers nerds that you both can sometimes be. And I've been on your side before when it comes to stuff like that. Let's just break it down to base brass tacks. Neither one of the players traded have played yet for the teams they were traded to.
James Harden will play this Friday against the Timberwolves.
But okay, what did I just say? Neither one of the players that are traded to the teams that they were traded to have played a game yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to matter with those teams. Those teams are what they are.
I think they will be. Well, it's hard, man. I don't know. We don't know.
If James Harden puts any effort in whatsoever, Philly's going to be a dangerous team, man.
Any effort.
If James Harden actually cares.
Whoa. Time out. James Harden was having to carry his team because
the reports came out that he was basically dogging it.
Reports came out. Well, you know what? I would too if I was supposed to be a part of a big three and one of them can't play because they aren't vaccinated and the other one can't play because they're injured.
100%. James Harden signed up to play with a prime Kevin Durant, a prime Kyrie Irving, Joe Harris, who is one of the best three-point shooters in the corner for spacing, and he got literally none of them.
16 games. 16 games together is what they played.
16 games, most of which were last season, not this season.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still a reflection of attitude. Show up. Show up.
Stop.
If someone went to my beloved Kansas City Chiefs and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to play on the Chiefs, but then Patrick Mahomes was out, Travis Kelce was out, Tyreek Hill was out, and all of a sudden you're like, why isn't this? I didn't sign up for this. I don't want to catch passes from Chad Henne. This is not what I am looking for.
Chad Henne.
Like,
whoa. You
Where's
respect
my
one of the
popcorn
greatest
right now,
Dolphins
y'all?
quarterbacks.
This is what I need right now. I need popcorn right
this
now.
is not on James Harden. And honestly, the fit in Philly, I don't know, is a good fit with Joel Embiid.
That might be a worse take than your hot take from last week.
100%.
It's probably not. It's probably not a good fit because of all the donuts James is eating.
I would love to see him cook you in basketball so badly.
Okay, if we're going to talk about people that are really and truly bad, let's talk about the Knicks. Oh, gosh. Literally the only time ever.
Be careful, Chris. Be careful. I care about you. Be careful.
0-3. No. When even Stephen A. Smith says they're trash, they're
I care about you. I care about you. Just be careful.
When Stephen A. Smith is concerned about Spike, it's bad. 0-3 in February with a 20-point lead.
That's bad.
They have lost 3 games in the month of February with a 20-point lead or greater.
Do you know how
they
hard
were
that
up
is
by
to do?
28 against the Nets and
They had an
lost to them
18-point fourth quarter
without
lead.
anyone. They don't have James Harden. They don't even have him.
It was Seth Curry and Andre Drummond cooking them. Are you serious? And I love Seth Curry. We all know this.
They spotted him 28.
Yeah. It's not great.
I have a solution for the Knicks. I have a solution.
Okay, please,
HGH.
There it is.
HGH.
Draft
Dunk contest.
Bronny. Draft Bronny so LeBron comes to play for you for 1 year.
Honestly, that's a great move. When is he eligible? Not this season.
After next season. Yeah, after next season.
So when LeBron is a free agent.
I'm just saying.
That's
it'll
LeBron
fix
that'll
the
be his
Mecca.
last season.
That'll be his last season. He'll sign a 1-year veteran minimum to go play with his son, wherever that is. So if you are a team, Orlando Magic,
Do it.
draft Bronny so high, because what you're really drafting is the last year of LeBron James and the farewell tour and all the ticket sales that you're getting.
Which, to be fair, he'll be 40, right? What will LeBron be? 40 years old in that season?
He'll be turning 39.
Yeah, I was going to say in 2 years, because we're like just about the same age. which like right now, I really just want to play the TikTok sound of like Conor McGregor talking about physique because I'm the same age as LeBron James.
Yeah, but LeBron's like dog years, right? 30. He's like 37 in dog years.
No,
That's the wrong way.
You're the other way around.
Yes, correct. He is 37 in dog years. That makes him like 14.
Yeah. Anyway, my point being, so that's just crazy. That's crazy to think he'll be able to play with his kid, barring, and knock on wood, I'm not saying this put out in the universe, but barring some unforeseen injury or him just deciding he's done.
I still think he would
power through to play with his kid.
100%.
All right. A couple more things I want to get to before we get off of sports. Do we think Juwan Howard gets fired? Did you see all of this the other night? For anyone that doesn't know what I'm talking about, the end of the Michigan-Wisconsin game, the game's over, and there was a timeout called by Wisconsin, basically because of like the 10-second penalty, I guess, was what the coach was trying to say. And Juwan Howard got very upset, got in everyone's face. The teams were there for the handshake lineup, which I think is ridiculous. I think they just let them hug it out on the way off the court, let the coaches shake hands and move on. I don't know why we have to have the Little League handshake lineup. I also don't think you should get rid of it because of this incident, which is what a lot of people are saying. It's like, have more decorum than this. But Juwan Howard basically just open hand slapped a assistant coach right in the face and started this huge brawl. They're talking about like how long he's going to be suspended, and a lot of people are asking, should he be fired over it? And I don't honestly know the answer to that question.
I mean, coming from someone who doesn't really watch a lot of basketball, that's a lot of bad heat when you're going against your own team, and you should be fired.
No. He hit the assistant coordinator of another team.
Wisconsin.
Oh, I thought
there you go.
Earlier, I thought you said it was the assistant of
No.
his team.
No. It was both teams basically like right at the end of the game when the coaches come talk to each other. You normally see like a handshake
Right.
and they walk off. Juwan Howard basically got in Wisconsin's coach. Like I'm forgive me for not knowing his name. Obviously, I know Juwan Howard's name. He got in his face, and then like everybody was trying to like break it up. And I guess one of the assistant coaches said something from Wisconsin that Juwan Howard did not like, and so he basically open hand like slapped him.
As a coach, aren't you supposed to be like the number one representative of your team?
Right. That's the opposite, right?
Yes.
Normally it's the coach pulling the players apart, not that
Yeah.
way. So that, again, I put it
should
to
be
you
fired.
guys. Do you think he should be fired?
No, I do not.
To answer your question, the name is Greg Gard, is the Wisconsin head
you,
basketball coach, and the assistant is Joe Krabenhoft. Joe Krabenhoft.
Old Joe.
Joe Kravenhoft. All right.
I do not think he should be fired. I don't think he will be fired.
I don't think he will be.
He is Juwan Howard of the Fab Five of Michigan. So,
But should he?
you know, this is not a condoning of violence, and certainly you should never. You're supposed to set a example for your kids and your students and players. I don't know what was said. There's no reason to hit someone. He should be suspended for a couple games. I don't think they should remove Michigan from the tournament. I saw something like that floated out there.
Time out. Michigan right now is sitting at last in.
Mm-hmm.
So if they actually pull Juwan Howard and the team doesn't play up to their level, they may not make the tournament to begin with.
Sure. I just saw it floated that it was like, oh, let's bar him from it. I think that's ridiculous.
No. You can't do the team that way.
Yeah, I don't know what the correct penalty should be. He should be suspended for a while. I mean, I would look at precedent with Bobby Knight and like what kind of stuff did he get suspended for and how long?
Different era and different time, by the way.
For
different
sure.
era where
I would argue that now it's worse.
That's what I'm saying. Like in the Bobby Knight era, like getting in your face, being loud and aggressive, throwing a chair on the court, physically assaulting players. Like not saying that's okay by any means, but back in that time, that was looked at as discipline. Back in today's day and age, like you can't touch anybody. And so, I mean, by the way, Michigan's AD came out and said, like, there's no excuse for any of our staff or players to get into a physical altercation. And he said he apologized to like Wisconsin's entire administration. I don't see any way that Juwan Howard coaches the rest of this season. I think he's done for the rest of the season. I think he gets suspended, even if Michigan makes the tournament or not. He's done for the rest of the year. He won't get fired, but he's gone for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I just told you what I said. I mean, you're talking about, this is college, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we see this more often in the NBA, or not the big leagues. I'm not just specifically saying the NBA, like the big leagues of all
Any
sports.
professional
Yes,
sports
any
league.
professional sport. You see this more often, but there's a lot more repercussions coming from college because everyone's still kids, I guess you want to call it. So I think the penalty is usually worse because you are representing and building these people to move on to a more professional sport. So that's the only reason why I think that you lost you assistant coach. Like, I guess thank God it wasn't like an actual player that he did that to.
Oh
Oh
God.
no, that would be
that would be
never
like-
coach again for sure.
Yeah, but like you said, he may be out for the rest of the season, but at this point, people are getting fired for almost every little thing that they do. I think that maybe you should be fired for this, but that's just me. It's
I mean,
college representing.
It's being talked about. That's the thing.
I'm just curious what was said. I don't.
You guys. I think it's. You know what? We're not going to know,
We won't.
and we don't need to know. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I'm sure the Big Ten's going to come down with some sort of punishment relatively soon, like before Michigan's next game. I would imagine so.
I would say that they probably do what you're alluding to, Rye, which is rest of the season. He doesn't play or he doesn't coach. Now, if they do make it into the tournament, does he get to coach in March Madness? I don't know.
I don't think.
I would expect an apology too, because I don't believe that he's given some sort of public apology. So I would expect that would have to come first, then whatever suspension or penalty that follows, and then
I would
maybe we can move
say,
forward.
based on what I've seen in the past, he doesn't apologize until they hand down a suspension. Mainly because if you apologize now, while that seems like the right move in a 24, 48-hour news cycle, it makes you look more culpable in the moment.
Yeah, I think
he goes radio silent, then apologizes after they hand down whatever they're going to hand down.
Miami Heat culture right there.
Heat culture, baby. Hey, man, look, if you don't shape up, we smack you right in the mouth. All right, heat culture.
Good Lord.
All right, we're gonna do a wow. God, we're gonna do a real quick one. Once around, I want to hear from you guys on this as well. Do we get a Major League Baseball season this year? I just want a yes or no from each one of you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, 100-game sprint. Let's go.
Yes, short season.
Short season. All right. I'm gonna say no.
There's no way they're going to pass up. There's no way.
Not no way. They've done it many times.
It's happened
They've done it.
before. It's happened
Not
before. I'm telling you, I think it's a no, and I think the players are dug in, and I think the league is going to try to hold it over their head, but I think they are dug in to the point that they're going to
Can you give like
not
a
going to play.
30-second rundown to people who don't know?
Yeah, obviously, in Major League Baseball, the collective bargaining agreement has expired for them, and so the MLB has taken the step, which they have done in the past, of saying we're not going to let anything move forward until we get a resolution on this. And so there is no spring training currently, and I think that to give you an idea of how bad this is, and this is why I'm the only one saying no. And by the way, I hope I'm wrong, because I enjoy having more sports on TV.
I want baseball. Y'all know me. I want to see
Yeah.
my Cubs play.
I get it, even when they're bad.
Can you imagine a summer without
that wasn't
baseball?
a dig. That
Oh,
wasn't
boy.
a dig. Hang on. I meant even when they're bad. Like you love your team. It's the same thing as like when the Cowboys are bad in football. I still want to see them play. I don't want to see a lockout happen. The first meeting that they had was 7 minutes long.
Yep.
They just had another meeting last week. It lasted a total of 15 minutes.
What are they?
They are so far apart on this.
Well, the two biggest issues, by the way, just for context,
I was about to
are
say give context of what they're
yeah.
meeting about.
So luxury tax threshold is number one. Basically, teams being able to spend more. Like owners want to put a cap on that, and players are like, no, because that puts a ceiling on the amount of money we can make. That's number one. Number two is minimum player salary. They want those minimum salaries raised for those, 25-man roster, end of the roster kind of guys. So that's basically the two biggest things that they're arguing over, and revenue sharing. And it just seems like they're so far apart between owners and players. The owners are accused of being selfish and greedy. The players are accused of wanting too big of a piece of
being
pie.
selfish and greedy.
Yep. So here we are
greedy,
between
everyone wants
money.
millionaires.
In the end, no one's going
Millionaires
to win.
versus billionaires, and the only people that lose are the people that want to watch baseball.
Yep.
Well, and them if they don't make money from playing games.
It's not going to hurt the billionaires. It's going to hurt the millionaires.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you see this in every sport when it comes down to it. But you know who always ends up getting vilified is the people whose names you know. It's not the owners
Or ownership groups. Yeah.
or ownership groups. It's always the players. And then you'll hear like casual fans be like, oh, they should just take the money. And like really what they're trying to do right now is pave the way for future players, not even them, to be able to be paid a fair market value based upon what the earning potential is for these owners / ownership groups.
But what is the market dictates the price, and Major League Baseball is now the fourth.
Oh yeah, no, it's going downhill,
and it's going downhill. So I'm a little. I think we will have a season for two reasons. Number one, I think that Major League Baseball is going to learn from what happened to the Olympics, in which waiting another 2 years.
Hey, the Olympics is over.
Yeah, like
Just in case.
Wait,
Like-
it is?
yeah, exactly.
done.
That's exactly
done.
see, and that's exactly the point. It was too far out of the public spotlight that we just stopped caring. Like that's just I mean, people watched, obviously. Good for all of the athletes, and they worked really hard for this. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying from a public perspective.
No. This is the least I'm not making fun. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
This is the least I've heard the Olympics discussed ever.
Ever in my entire life, in 37 years, this is the least I've ever talked about it.
Was it like a day long? Like,
That's exactly right. That proves my point. So that's number
Yes.
one. Number two, we have a framework. It was completely different reasons, but in 2020, we have a framework for a 60-game season that was shortened and ramped up really quickly. Now, that was because of protocols, et cetera, whatever. But we do have a framework in recent history where the players eventually said, we would rather make some money than no money. We'd rather not sit out. What can we do to do this? And I think the same framework is going to happen for this season. I don't know how many games. It's definitely going to be shorter. They're not close. I mean, pitchers and catchers are supposed to report March 1, I think.
No, they were supposed to report in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was going to say
it was
not
like this week.
Not
Yeah, okay.
even. It's this week, and it's not going to happen.
It's not even close. So it's definitely going to be a shorter season if it happens, but we do have a framework for how to do it and for a pace that at least produced some games and produced playoff baseball, which is what most of us care about anyway.
This is going to be a huge black eye for this league, by the way, because you already are turning off a very young generation that's gravitating more towards the NBA, soccer, NFL, obviously. Like, this is not good for Major League Baseball. Like, and I wish Rob Manfred would have that perspective, because you're literally, I mean, there's concerns about the future of this league because of the antiquated rules and the older demographic. And they're now going to turn off a lot of that younger demographic who's like, I want baseball. Stop yelling over money. Like, just give me baseball.
Also pace, because baseball games are just long. People.
Well, you know what? I actually am one of the few that, even looking at statistics and looking at pace, I would argue the biggest problem is, name me a big time baseball star who has a personality that you can define in 5
Bryce
words
Harper.
or less.
Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper.
One.
Yeah, that's basically it. A renegade. He's a renegade. And then you have Mike Trout.
Why
who's-
is he a renegade? Because he has long hair and he bat flips.
Because he'll get kicked out
Yes,
of
he's
games.
so bad. That hair, by the way, come on. I mean, that's some
wait,
good
wait,
hair.
what's the name of the? I can't
Yeah,
see-
exactly. That
but
is my problem.
I could picture his face though.
Mike
The one
Trout.
that got
Mike
in
Trout.
No, the one who got in trouble for mocking the Astros, and he's like, and he like got kicked out of the game.
Oh,
The pitcher.
Guys, y'all can't name the person. That's my point.
yeah.
Aaron Judge.
That's not who she's talking about, but yes,
No.
that is a baseball player.
I mean, I can name the players on
But
my team, but
that's my point, is that the public at large,
They're not superstars.
if I say name 5 NBA players, you can do it. I would argue that if I say name 5 UFC fighters, most people can. They would start with Conor McGregor because he's a personality and they know him off the top of their head. it doesn't seem like they have that in baseball lately, especially. Like, who's the new rookie in baseball that you're excited about?
Juan Soto?
That's not a rookie.
I mean, technically, I think just by service time he still is, but
that's the point. The
That's
rules,
my point.
The rules are like,
but this league is first of all, I think the difference between baseball and I'm not disagreeing with you. Like, I think they have a superstar problem in baseball, but the America's pastime and the pageantry around that comes with the franchises, do they not? Like the Yankees and the Red Sox and the Dodgers.
Let me pose it a different way, Rye, because I know what you're saying. Let's compare that to the NFL, which has really and truly become America's pastime. I love the history and the naming of Major League Baseball America's pastime. I understand that is the history and that is the truth, and that was what it was nicknamed.
It really is America's pastime.
Stop.
Dad joke. It is also much like calling my team in the NFL America's team. They aren't that era. That is a bygone era. And that was closer than when they started calling Major League Baseball. Do you see what I'm saying?
There's nothing better, though. There's nothing better.
You can't hang your hat on the past forever.
No, but
You have to move forward. There has to be something new that excites people. There has to be
there nothing better,
Patrick
though?
Mahomes. There has to be.
if you want to argue for that kind of money.
Right.
That's the point.
Right.
If you want to just be small markets, not get the bigger.
They're major markets, but
I mean, major market. I'm sorry, smaller TV deals, smaller amounts of money in comparison to NFL, NBA contracts, etc. Like, if you're just cool with it, then just be cool. But you're trying to ask for Patrick Mahomes money without having Patrick Mahomes characters
level of star.
The last time we felt like there were stars in baseball, again, this goes back to I am pro HGH for
steroids.
But there was nothing more exciting in baseball than the home run chase.
Hey, look, as a Cubs fan, don't you dare roll your eyes because Sammy Sosa.
No. That's not why I'm rolling my eyes. I'm rolling my eyes because you also have to realize, like, media is a huge part of this. Media doesn't want to, like, represent baseball anymore. Like, they're not pushing the people like they're pushing the other teams.
Because they have no one to push.
They're just not doing it. There's great players out there.
Name the star of Major League Baseball.
Again, well, you could do Bryce Harper, you could do Chris
It's
Bryant.
not Bryce
It's
Harper.
probably Mookie Betts would be the closest we've got right now.
It's probably Aaron Judge. I mean, if you're gonna go big market, big star, Aaron Judge is probably the guy that baseball's elevated.
But again,
think of, like,
Mookie has won a championship.
I agree, but think of commercials, right? Because that's how you make these stars bigger. Like, what baseball star can you remember doing the bigger types of commercials? Because it's LeBron, it's Steph, it's
Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire, Barry Bonds.
Yeah. Also, it should be noted. And
by the way,
we are not
first of all,
advocating.
yeah, let's take one step back. We're not advocating for people to not get paid. I think they should be paid more. I understand what's going on.
We are advocating for steroids.
No, we're not.
I am.
I also understand ownership having a play here. And granted, I mean, even like probably your most mid-level star on any team is arguably way more famous than I may ever be in my entire life as a musician. So I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when you're hanging this multi-billion-dollar franchise on these people, you've got to have names that everyone knows off the top of their head for no reason. And I just feel like Major League Baseball is lagging behind the other sports.
They are. I'm going to leave this out here and we can move on from this. But after there was some notable names left off of the Hall of Fame induction due to potential controlled substance use.
Potential.
Alleged. Major League Baseball rolled out a statement that said they are no longer going to be testing for steroids. And I think that that's a very interesting little nugget to kind of put in our back pocket. I think that's going to open the door to letting these people into the Hall of Fame. And I also think it's going to open the door to what I have been clamoring about for what feels like years, but probably is only weeks, that baseball players should be jacked, and hitting 600 feet home runs.
And on that note, let's go to music.
Music.
Let's go.
We should now have people with 8-octave ranges. We should inject it directly into their vocal cord. I'm kidding. Obviously kidding.
Third arm to play guitar.
Yes. The most notes ever played. If you've been under a rock and you have not heard me talk about this, I'm still so grateful and so excited about the 7 nominations for the ACM Awards coming up fast. Working on stuff for that right now. Actually, when I get up here, once we're done recording this, I'm going to go work on something.
Oh.
That I believe will get announced this week.
Oh.
Yeah. So very, very excited for the ACM Awards. A lot of people didn't realize it's going to be at Allegiant Stadium.
Oh, it's at the stadium.
Yeah.
Oh.
Going
That's
big.
cool.
It's going to be at the Giant Roomba.
That's cool.
It is an awesome stadium, but it looks like a giant Roomba.
I mean, I hate the Raiders, but that's cool.
Hey, Jason Fitz would be very mad at you right now.
That's okay. He can swallow the fact that there is a Chiefs flag buried underneath
Oh my
Allegiant
God.
Stadium.
You know about this? That's an actual thing. Y'all know about this, right?
One of the designers.
You know about this, right?
I have
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah,
actually.
one of the
Josh told me.
designers of the stadium is a Chiefs fan, and so he buried a Chiefs flag underneath the stadium, and then they poured the concrete. Yes. Yes.
That's some like.
It's messed up.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, very, very, very excited. Album of the year, single of the year, video of the year, and event. So working on something very cool for you guys and working on some new music. Obviously, we alluded to this last week, too. I feel like I'm retreading a bunch of stuff, but I mean, there's a reason that you saw me and some guys from a fairly well-known country band in the studio. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go over to my Instagram, Chris Young Music. Check it out.
Little breadcrumb.
Very excited. And for this week, I decided we were going to do something a little bit different for What Are You Listening To? And I want to know from you guys, because I got into a conversation with somebody about emo songs. And there's a lot of different ways that some people decide to define what is emo and what isn't. So, there's probably going to be some people with opinions on this. And you know what? Actually, I'm just going to see if she answers. I'm going to call Cassidy, seeing as she was in Hey Monday.
I like this phone a friend segment we
Yeah.
now have on this podcast. I'm enjoying this.
I need to bring my cord so you can just plug straight into it.
I know. See if she answers. She might not.
Hello?
Oh, what's up, Cass? Hey,
I missed your guys' FaceTime. I was on a plane.
it's all good. Hey, this is really random. We're recording the podcast right now.
Uh-huh.
And I have a question for you that I feel like you are especially adept at answering compared to us. We are trying to ask everyone's favorite emo song of all time.
Let's see here. There are many. Okay. I think my favorite is One Good Reason by Blink-182.
All right. One good reason.
It's like a deep cut on Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
Which is the name of the record.
That's the name of the record.
The album for the record. Yes, the album.
That's your guys' question you're doing. That's great.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if she'll even answer, but I've got to call her because I had to get your opinion on this.
Does she have a favorite
well,
emo
I'm
band?
honored.
Emo
Thank
band
you.
of all time.
Oh,
That's awesome.
always. And next time I'll try and FaceTime you when you're not on a plane. All right.
I know. I got it, and I was like, I don't know if I'm allowed to answer this, and I was also, had my mask on. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to hear them even, so I just texted Austin. I was like, sorry, I'm flying.
All good, girl. All right. Sorry to bother you.
No, you're good. Talk to you soon.
See ya.
Okay, bye.
All right. Cassidy Pope, everybody. And yeah, I like being
Is
able to phone a
Blink-182
friend.
emo? Is Blink-182 emo though?
Look,
Well,
I'm
that's
going
where
by
you
what
go.
Cassidy Pope just said, and
There's a lot of genre blurring when you get into the punk, emo punk, screamo. There's
Right.
a lot. What separates?
I mean, where's
these
the
things?
line though? That's the question because like, is Good Charlotte emo?
I
Is
mean,
Fallout Boy emo?
technically Panic at the Disco is emo.
Correct. I would say anything that falls within this genre from 1998 through 2005.
And the other thing is like, is Panic at the Disco now emo? Probably not. Maybe question mark. But there's a lot of line blurring, and that's why I wanted to see what you guys had as your favorite emo song. So we got one from Cass that we can add to the playlist. Who wants to go next? Don't all raise your hands at once. Ryan, are you looking up a list online?
You didn't give us any preface and stuff. We were gonna. I see the wrong word. You didn't give us
I
a
gave
warning.
you warning. It was in the rundown.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I'll go. I'm stuck between two. This was like a bread and butter for me because I loved a lot of these bands.
Right.
But if we're going like the one, if I could encapsulate emo and that genre and the time in one song, one musical event, one
thing.
One to rule them all. It's Sugar We're Going Down by Fall Out Boy.
Ooh. All right. I'm gonna go a little different. Unless you have one, Rye. Have you found one yet?
I do. And this is going to be a little of a surprise.
Because
to
the
those
song
out
is
there.
emotional. And so.
Well, no, it's not. It's not emotional. But it is my favorite emo song. And it's Headstrong by Trapped.
That's not emo.
That's not emo.
It's definitely emo. 1,000,000% emo.
Is that?
No. No, it is not.
1,000,000%. Oh, absolutely it is. If you're telling me that Blink 182 or Sum 41 is emo, then Trapped is absolutely emo.
Trapped was more in like the rap rock era of bands than it was in the emo.
All right. Are
Is
you
Limp
allowed to
Bizkit
be
emo?
rap and
No,
emo?
Limp Bizkit is not emo. I think you misunderstand what emo is.
Bear, you got one? You still looking?
Is Limp Bizkit emo? For
All
sure.
right, all right, fine. I can give you a better one.
No. You already gave yours. It's fine. I feel like a lot of this is going to be unfamiliar territory for Haley.
See, I can name like.
No, it's not because I'm going like again. Fallout Boy.
Fallout Bar.
Fallout Boy. Like I loved them, and there's Green Day that was like the ultimate emo band comparative in the 2000s.
I don't know because they're a punk band from the 90s.
Again, it's like all over the place. So I really don't know where to go with this.
All right, I went back and forth on
the
mine.
rundowns.
I went back and forth on mine, and while I'm going to be Ryan a little bit for a second, while I could have gone with what tops most lists as one of the biggest emo songs of all time by this band, I'm not okay. I promise. I instead am going with Welcome to the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance.
Black Parade's good. My second choice was Hands Down by Dashboard Confessional.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm taking
Mine was The Taste of Ink by The Used, which
that would have counted.
That would have been great. What the hell, right? All right, Haley.
Headstrong, come on.
Just the one out there.
Headstrong does not count.
Any Panic at the Disco song at this point.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I'm like looking at Paramore. I loved them
That
too.
would have been a
All
great
right,
one.
Paramore's great.
Misery
So,
Business would be a great
yeah.
pill.
Yeah. So
You want to go Paramore?
just go Paramore
Okay.
because you can't go wrong with them.
I like
the way,
Paramore.
I would
a lot.
always scream with her. I would take my inner emo. I was one of the ones who used to wear. I was never emo, but I always had that very thin black necklace choker on my neck growing up. So that was kind of my thing.
I feel like we should all do an emo night where we dress up and do the podcast as emo night.
Oh my God.
I think that's a terrible idea.
That's a horrible idea.
I think it's a great
no
idea.
one
We're going to
will
do a
believe
quad
that I
after
actually-
dark.
Hey, by the way, I did play the Opry before we get off music in a cowboy hat this week. And it just melted everybody down. They didn't know what to do with themselves.
How was that?
It was funny.
It broke the internet. It broke the internet. I
No,
hope
it
you
did
know
not.
that.
It did not break the internet. It didn't do that.
It broke the internet. It broke the quad internet.
It was really funny, though, because then there was like articles on these random country sites. Is Chris Young wearing a cowboy hat now?
Is that a return to the traditional Chris Young that we know?
Yeah.
Do it.
Good times. Good times. All right, let's go to the hot take.
I just want to listen to a bunch of emo stuff now.
Yeah, I know, right? So we bounced around with a couple different ideas for the hot take this week, and I eventually landed on something that we've done before, which is anytime somebody on the internet that we all follow puts out a list of things. And so I've got one, and I was really torn on this. But Barstool Sports put out what is the greatest Little Debbie product of all time. And I really was close to going with honey buns.
Interesting.
I was really, really close because that was high school for me. That was like the one thing that they had like in the machine. You come in and have change. It's like I can get one of those today. All right, this is awesome. But before that, and all the way through high school, anytime I was with my dad doing construction, we would roll through early in the morning, get breakfast sandwiches, go to the job site. I'd be there with him doing dock doors, levelers, and seals. And we'd get about midday. We would have sandwiches that we made at the house. And I would have an oatmeal cream pie every day in the truck.
That's a great choice.
Dirty, at lunch. You know, picking stuff up, putting it back down.
I thought it was cheese crackers.
Nope. It was an oatmeal cream pie, and so I have to go. Oatmeal cream pie is the greatest Little Debbie product of all time.
Man,
now you guys have plenty of latitude to be wrong with your picks. Go ahead.
Ryan, do you want to go?
You do realize that Little Debbie put out their own rankings, right? In 2019.
Hey, by the way, a consumer purchased product trying to tell me what to buy probably tells me which is the one that they have the largest profit margin on, not which one is the best.
Or supply. Bunch of backstock.
I'm just telling you that they put out their own list here as well in terms of what they consider to be goats. And I will tell you that the oatmeal cream pie is in the legends category. But it is not the greatest Little Debbie snack of all time.
Yes, it is.
And if anybody out there says fig bars, I will fight you. I will fight anyone out there who says fig bars.
First of all, no one, that's not even in the photo of things that Barstool posted.
I'm just saying.
We should go ahead and tell you anyone that's arguing fig bars, you probably never had a fig Newton. So
I actually like fig Newtons.
No, fig Newtons are great. My point being the fig bar.
Oh, okay. I thought you were,
no,
okay,
get out of here. Get out of here with that noise.
Without question, the most savory, tasty, and satisfying to the crunch in terms of Little Debbie snacks is the Nutty Buddy, without question, because it combines just the greatest texture in terms of taste. You bite into it, you get that flakiness of peanut butter and chocolate dribbling off your face as you try to eat it.
Dribbling off your face?
How do you eat these things? Are you in a sauna?
Is it really hot when you're eating?
But here's the key. You have to eat it. You have to eat the Nutty Buddy when it's melted because it gets just so much better. Just you rub your face in the whole thing and you do this and you just
Nutty Buddy happening right now.
Please stop.
What you do in your personal time is just none of our business.
By the way, I can't say what I was going to say. Dude, look, I get it. Nutty Buddy is a great name. It rhymes. It's a great taste thing. Yeah, I get it. It nowhere in the pantheon of anything that combines peanut butter and chocolate. It's not even close. I'm sorry. No way.
Let's rewind to 1999.
That's specific.
A young Josh Gleave at a private school in Hutchinson, Kansas, with about 30 minutes to eat up between the end of school and when football practice starts. He walks across the street to the gas station. He gets a Mountain Dew Code Red, and he gets the greatest. I know.
Mountain Dew Code Red. Hell
Code
yeah.
Red when you're 13, when you can still do that and then go play football.
Not immediately need to find a bathroom.
Correct.
You didn't get a Surge? You decided to get a Code Red?
I would get a Code Red for football. Surge was like more of like a weekend sort of situation.
All right, just curious.
Yeah. I would grab one of the most delicious things you could possibly eat that would just give you an insulin spike beyond belief, and that is the number one, the zebra cake.
Why did I feel like you were
Zebra
going to
Cake's
say
elite.
that?
Zebra Cake's elite. Not gonna lie.
I love and life hack. Zebra cakes in the freezer. Oh my. You thought Thin Mints were good in the freezer?
What? Okay, can I hang on? What is up with you and Ryan and temperature of your Little Debbie snack cakes? Ryan needs his to be melted. You need yours frozen. It's like, I'm just talking about right out of the box, man. Just give me an oatmeal cream pie, golden.
It's great out of the box.
Yeah, but
Game on.
if that box has been sitting in your car and it's a little warm in there,
What in the
so good.
Okay,
So
Haley,
good.
what's yours?
Well,
I can't wait. I'm sorry. What? Warm?
Yeah, I'm
chocolate?
still so confused.
Okay.
There's nothing better than a nice, savory, warm, peanut buttery chocolate just melting.
I'm sorry
you're just
for
bathing
anyone
it. You
listening
bathe
to
in
this
it as
right
you
now.
eat it. You have to bathe in it while you eat it.
I'm really sorry for Ryan.
I've
I
been to
apologize.
dinner with you. This is not how you eat.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've got photos of you at dinner. You're not bathing in the steak.
he did.
Okay.
He did
Have you
drip
watched
his
me?
gravy / grits on himself.
That is true. Ryan is also the only person I've ever seen at breakfast in Nashville eating and going, man, these grits are really creamy. And we're like, that's a bowl of gravy.
Very creamy.
And then I spilled it
Okay,
on
go
myself.
ahead. Sorry, Haley. Go.
So I may throw all of you off because growing up, I never really ate this stuff. My favorite food was salad growing up, and this stuff was too sweet for me to really eat. I guess the most thing I ever ate on there were the cosmic brownies, but I can't stand those these days. So
What is your pick?
the only thing that I would still eat on that list right now are the powdered donuts.
I mean, it's technically correct, but
Yeah,
that is just not.
that's.
I like powdered donuts, but the other stuff is just too sweet and sticky, and
I'm
I just
surprised nobody. Well, it's definitely sticky when you eat it like Ryan does.
What's your feeling on Star Crunch? Because I threw down Star Crunch pretty
Okay.
hard.
What is Star
Hang
Crunch?
on. Star Crunch was good, but Star Crunch was never like in the top 5 for me.
Interesting.
I'm surprised no one went Swiss rolls.
I don't like the Swiss rolls. The strawberry shortcake rolls were excellent.
I had a
Yeah.
couple bites of honey bun when I'd give it to the monkeys, but that's about it.
What?
Okay.
You're gonna need to
So,
explain that.
Did the monkeys wear it all over their face on a
Let me-
warm summer day like Ryan does?
Let me
Yes,
correct
they did.
myself. They're not monkeys. They were primates. Back when I was working full time at the animal show, we had a couple orangutans, and as part of their enrichment, we would do fun things, and I'd stick like gummies on the walls and throw shredded paper everywhere, and we'd give them like snacks like
Honey
any other
buns.
kid, and I'd give them like little pieces of honey buns, and a couple times I'd take a bite, but that's about it. Had one bite for me, one bite for you. But that's about it.
Would you
won't-
like to know? Would you like to know what our friends at the flyfishjournal.com believe is the best Little Debbie snack?
What the hell, Ryan?
This is your best pull yet.
Ryan.
The fly. I
Come on, I
trust
want to
them.
hear
They-
it now. Let's go.
First of all, there is some journalistic integrity that comes with the flyfishjournal.com. Okay,
That 100%
That's
means
number
that
one.
they put Nutty Buddies first. And this is the only
100%.
one
And
he could
here's the
find
thing.
that had it at number 1.
And here's the thing: the first YouTube clip on this is Will Ferrell as Little Debbie, so you have to take that as just pure credibility. All right, at number 5, according to the flyfishjournal.com, is the strawberry shortcake rolls.
Delicious. A
At
staple
number
at all
4.
Chinese buffets.
Yeah, fake strawberry goo, though. I don't know.
Wait,
if I
I've
kinda like
never
that.
seen those at a Chinese buffet.
Oh, you're not going to the right ones.
I got the sugar biscuits.
No.
No.
No,
Go,
no.
All right, go ahead, Ryan.
The flyfishjournal.com lists the number 4 greatest Little Debbie snack as the salted caramel cookie bars. At number 3, what they deem as the most versatile snack in the Little Debbie family, Nutty Bars. And they say that they're good for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I tend to agree, but only when they're hot. At number 2, the Swiss cake rolls, which I am surprised that nobody mentioned the Swiss cake rolls because that is popular among the Little Debbie fan club. And according to the very highly credible journalistic integrity publication of theflyfishjournal.com, number 1 is oatmeal cream pies. as the greatest little devil.
You're telling me.
Josh was doing the victory lap before it even got announced.
You're telling me, America or Fly Fishing Journal or whatever, Zebra Cakes doesn't even break into the top 5? That is bull. That is bull crap.
All right.
They're not even in the top 10.
We're going to
Not even in the top 10.
Oh my God.
See, credibility thrown out the window.
We're gonna put this to the test. I do want to say
America
the one that ends up nowhere and that I think people sleep on so hard are the coffee cakes.
Those are great. The bars?
Yes.
Yeah.
And not the squares.
Not the squares.
The bars that are like
yeah.
apple streusel. They're game
None are as
over.
good as an actual coffee cake from the bakery. Let's be real.
Well, this is little
We're
Debbie.
not talking about running out to the bakery in the morning. We're talking about grabbing
No,
something
you can
out
walk
of the
into
pantry.
Publix and get a fucking. Oh.
Somebody was going to do it eventually. There it is.
So sorry.
I'm gonna have to mark this episode not safe for children on YouTube. Thank
Yeah,
you.
right.
We'll edit
No,
it out.
no,
We'll edit it out of the audio.
We'll bleep it out. We'll bleep it out.
By the way, for the record, for those out there, since it just got brought up so elegantly, make sure you go subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/C/The Quad with Chris Young.
If you were listening to this on your podcast service of your choice, please go check us out. At least give us a subscription. Go ahead and subscribe to that YouTube channel. And we will put this to the test. We're going to let this run down, not through a random internet site that Ryan has found, but through your votes.
Flyfishjournal.com.
Through
Thank you
your
very
votes.
much.
So we're putting zebra cakes up against Nutty Buddies.
And oatmeal cream pie against powdered donuts.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose. It's okay.
I don't know. You might win. A lot of people like those powdered donuts. No lie. That's one of the very first things you see.
We can't forget to bring it up because the last 2 times I won the poll, we did not bring up the next week.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. We're not going to talk about the chili. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to The Quad with Chris Young. As always, I'm Chris from Haley, Ryan, and Josh. We love you guys. Make sure you go vote. And obviously, as always, the answer is oatmeal cream pies on this week. So